uh, Assistant Professor Ms. Anjali Panwar, who is going to make presentation. Anjali Panwar.
The family or a country where there is no estimation of women, where they live in sadness. For this reason, they have to be raised first. Women have historically faced discrimination and inequalities in the workplace and in all the other spheres of life. Talks and writings about women empowerment are neither new for India nor for the world. Good evening to one and all present here. Today, I get the privilege to be part of this conference and speak on the topic, Role of Legal Education in Women Empowerment. Education has been regarded as the most significant instrument for changing women's subjugated position in the society. It not only develops the personality and rationality of the individuals, but qualifies them to fulfill certain economic, political, and cultural functions, and thereby improve upon their socio-economic status. Legal education plays a crucial role in the women empowerment by providing knowledge, skill, and awareness necessary for the progress of the civil society, as we all know that no society can progress without the progress of its women. As rightly quoted by Swami Vivekananda, that there is no chance for the welfare of the world unless the condition of women is improved. It is impossible for a bird to fly on only one wing. Legal education will enable our woman not only to gain more knowledge about the world outside of her shell and home, but will also help her to get the status, positive self-esteem, and self-confidence, also helping her to know about her rights, their enforcement, their implementation, and tackle the day-to-day life issues like family planning, child marriage, widow remarriage, sati, domestic violence, and the list goes on. Firstly, I would like to start with what we understand by what is this woman empowerment. Woman empowerment may be defined in the several ways, the very simplest being that like accepting the woman's decision, taking her viewpoint in formulating the decisions, seeking her decisions, views in raising the status of the woman through education, awareness, life literacy, and training. It equips and allows the woman to make life-determining decisions through different societal problems. Now, what are the challenges faced by the woman for this empowerment? The first one is the educational. The literacy rate or the literacy difference between the adult male and the adult woman varies from 15 to 20%. This is about, with what we are talking about is the literacy rate. But when we talk about the legal education, the statistics show that when the legal education was imparted to the woman, in late 1950s and 51, the ratio was 2 females to 100 males. Now we have reached to 49 females per 100 males. Still a high amount has to be reached. And when you look at the NIRF ranking, the NLUs, where the representation of women has raised from 36% to 77% in the RGNLU, but in the traditional law colleges, the ratio is still very low. For example, in BHU, the stats show that only 29% of the female students are there in the law colleges. Similarly, in the Aligarh Muslim University also, there are only 35% of the female ratio. The other major challenge in the women empowerment is the gender biases, the gender discrimination that the women face. The gender roles have been defined in the societies which serve as a roadblock in the path of the women legal academicians. Women are often expected by the society to stay in the house and sacrifice their careers for the so-called breadwinners of the house. They are not seen in the category of the breadwinners. It is expected of a woman to take care of the household and raise obedient children, while the husband is expected to work hard and be successful. This is one of the stereotypes which needs to be broken down. Now, when we talk about the education for the woman, for the primary education, there have been various schemes launched by the government, but when it comes to the professional education, we are still lagging behind. Professional education, coming to the legal aspect only due to the shortage of time, when we study about the women and legal education, there have been the examples of Balmati, who has wrote a masterly commentary on the law of Stridhan in the ancient India culture, which is a special branch of Hindu law. There is also another well-known woman in the field of law, Lakshmi Devi, whose compendious work, the Vivada Chandra, a commentary on the Hindu law of succession, as followed by a particular school of law called the Mithila school, throws a light on the fact that there were women who were deeply interested in the law. But it was only during the British India time that Miss Cornelia Sarobji got the first Indian woman to pass the examination of the Bachelor of Civil Law from the Oxford as early as in 1892. She has got her LLB degree from the Allahabad University. After that, there are examples of 7 women in 1923 who has passed the law and were known as the first women legal practitioners in India. Among those 7 women, 3 were from Bombay, 2 were from Madras, and 1 from Assam. If we look at the scenario today, the women have reached the height of the Supreme Court judges, the first one being the Fatima Bibi in 1989. Similarly, we have the example of Justice Leela Seth, who was the judge of Delhi High Court. And if we talk about the current position, we have 3 female judges in the Supreme Court, and B.V. Nagaratna is one of them, who is seen to be the first CJI in 2027. Now, the question arises, is this law only for lawyers, as quoted by Professor N.L. Mitra in the inaugural session as well? The answer to that question is that no. Law is not only for lawyers. Law is for the society. It is for the development of the society. Law is a tool to reach the justice. The education, the legal education, will not only help women to become lawyers, but it will help her to know her rights, to develop her personality in the society, to change her status in the society, to seek that justice which we talk about, to make this world a more gender neutral and gender equal. The importance of legal education when we talk about the career opportunities or the other fields wherein it can help the development of the woman becomes the advocacy for the woman's right, access to justice, representation in the legal profession, policy and legislative impact that this education can bring, the social and the human rights, a woman fighting for her own rights without needing the help of any other person. Corporate and business law opportunities will open up for her, mediation, alternative dispute resolution, education leadership and academia, international law and humanitarian work. When we talk about the academics, it is almost feel that it is a woman-dominated sphere, but when we talk about the top positions, again, we see the male supremacy. Professor Dr. Usha Tandon, who has been given this chance to establish a full-fledged NLU Prayagraj, is an example that the strength which the woman depicts today. Now, without taking much time, I would like to conclude that legal education will increase the representation of women in leadership roles within legal and non-legal spheres. The diversity in the leadership contributes to more comprehensive and decision-making processes. Empowered women lawyers will contribute to the protection and promotion of fundamental rights, creating a civil society that upholds the principles of justice and fairness. Empowered women are more likely to actively participate in the civic life. Through legal education, they will be able to understand the importance of civic engagement, contributing to the overall vibrancy and strength of the civil society. Legal education is a catalyst for empowering women and unleashing their full potential. By promoting the gender equality, access to justice, and leadership development, it will pave the way for a more equitable and inclusive society. Women empowerment, which is seemed to be a myth, will turn into reality. So let us dive into the sea and achieve the purpose, the target. Thank you so much.